All right, guys, welcome back to another live show. Hope everyone's doing good. Hopefully, the connection will be a little bit better. We are going to do an off the phone, and then when we share stuff, we'll be doing it a different way. So, all right. So we'll get going. We got a couple things going for the show today. We got a couple photos and video from the internet, and then we're going to check out and maybe take a look at, maybe get you guys' opinions on, and discuss. And then might have James pop in, maybe some other members, and open up the mics for you guys here. So it looks like everything did set up. Yeah, pretty excited and stuff. Had a pretty good day, pretty good week so far. If this stream sets does good, doesn't mess up when we show videos and stuff, then we'll do it this way. If not, I'll be looking to get something else. So hopefully my audio is a little bit better too. I'll try to speak louder. I know it's usually pretty low. But yeah, I had a pretty good day and stuff. Getting ready for a lot of things. But getting healthy and getting working out, getting back into really, really good shape. So we're ready to go out farther and harder and a lot longer out on these hikes and out in these wooded areas. Got some new reports and stuff, which is fantastic, especially the area it's at. I'm really happy to have, luckily, I've just walked up into this. All right. Walked into this counter that got into my lap, luckily, and basically, yeah, it's pretty interesting. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit too. And hopefully everyone's having a good week. It's nice and sunny here in Michigan. A little nippy and stuff, frost in the morning, but it was bright and sunny today. Been doing the working out lately and stuff, doing 100 push-ups. Got the 100 push-ups in today. Just finished that up. And looks like that does not, which is okay. All right. So yeah, working out, getting back into shape and stuff, so we can do a little bit extra things this year. We're gonna be I got some events planned. We got the Bigfoot conferences coming summer or fall. We are gonna have some outings open to the public. We're gonna have some invite only researcher outings that are going to be a little bit more hardcore, permitted off the trail camping. Not at like any public campgrounds stuff. We don't camp at public campgrounds really at all. Only time we did that was um, like twice. One the 168, and then uh, over in Allegan we were camped at base camp, main camp, but then we ended up camping somewhere else. Anyways, I like to camp off trail, um, in the action, if possible, or next to the wooded area, away from everyone if possible, for the most chances of activity. So, and you guys have seen our previous video that we just released today. You will see that we get some pretty good activity. My girlfriend was with me and was actually the one who spotted it, and you guys can see the full clip of it um, as the previous video. We did release the longer version, 45 minutes worth of us walking around, and we did jump a deer and stuff, and we could hear it, and I believe it snorts and stuff at that time. Then our encounter at the very end does not snort and stuff, and actually stays and watches us. And so you guys can check that out. It's about a 10-minute long encounter, give or take. I start it right when I'm fidgeting with the camera, so you guys can pretty much get the right before the encounter and right after, showing that there's no manipulation of the camera or whatever. So it's just pretty much there. And then I did drop in, I paused it, dropped in these photos, and then resumed it right there. So you guys can check that out for some pretty close eye shine. And shout out to my girlfriends for taking some amazing pictures and being brave and stuff, and not running away, not being scared, just staying right there, right by me, and taking photos and everything. So fantastic stuff. So, all right. So yeah. All right. Pyromedic says he walked 3 miles hog hunting earlier, took a 300-pound boar with 5-inch tucks. Man, that must have been exhilarating, honestly. Um, thought it was a coon until it broke a good size stick when running off. Nice. Yeah, if we had more hogs and stuff, or if I was in a state down there, I might be doing that a lot more often, hog hunting. And um, yeah, man, that's a man killer right there. If that, I mean, even a 150-pound boar, or anything that's within your weight size, and tucks that are 3 to 4 or 5 inches or longer, I can kill you. A 300-pound boar can easily charge you, run you down, swing back up, and it's cutting you open and stuff. Even if you have Carhartts on, it can gash you pretty good. And I don't know if you guys ever wrestled with a big dog and stuff, and it kind of nicks you or it cuts you or scratches you, and you're like, "Ow, that kind of hurts," right? Well, I'll imagine something that's like twice the size or 3 times the size running at you full speed and just plowing into you. All right, with like tucks designed to like get into you and gore you. So yeah, it's it's pretty dangerous actually, especially if you have massive hogs, 300 plus pounds, 400, 600 pounds, 700 pounds. Like they're reporting, yeah, I mean, those are like Hogzilla monster size hogs. Um, Almost like legendary medieval hunt style of these massive animals that can cause a lot of damage. And even though they're not necessarily cryptids, Hogzilla, those size hogs are, cryptids because they're not seen. They're not cryptids at all. They're just how pigs can get. They can get that big and stuff in the wild. If they can continue to grow and eat and don't get injured, they just keep growing. And of course, more genetics, better genetics breeds better offspring, which happens very fast. So theoretically, we should be spotting more and more bigger and better pigs. So, and they have a nice, diverse genetic makeup with European, Russian, uh, all actually. There's even warthogs reported. All kinds of wild pigs have been brought over from all across the world. So, with them breeding potentially and intermixing, there's uh, very interesting genetics going on. So, gotcha. That was this was about our video. Yeah, sorry. Thought it was a coon until it broke a good sized stick when running away. Yeah, yeah. No, it was definitely something big. If you notice the grass lying and stuff, it's pretty tall, and we're about the same height. Eye level, I would say. Plus, it actually goes down and then levels up, and then eventually goes up on this little grade up to this hill. Not really a hill, it's just up a little grade with more thickets and stuff. With this trail paralleling the entire way. So it was set up perfectly, honestly, because when we walked in, if you watch the full video, the 45-minute video, we actually stopped at that spot at the very beginning and stuff. And we're right there and stuff filming. We don't notice anything. And then we walk, do our thing. And on the way out, at that spot is where she looks across this little pond area and then sees it, thinking it was um, the red eye shine of the back of our car lights and stuff because we were kind of getting close over there. But I was like, no, we're still a good 150 yards away. So I was pretty shocked actually that it was just standing there watching us, and then you can see that I actually walk towards it, make noises and stuff to try to see. Like normal animals will jump, run away. Usually they avoid humans. They're very attuned to humans because they want to avoid them. I mean, we just dominate the world, right? So their best interest is to avoid us. This did not. It stared at us quite a bit until I got, I would say, um, how many feet? Like 20 yards, 30 yards, 20 yards. It was pretty close. It wasn't too far away. So 30 feet, 20 yards. Yeah, like 20, 30 yards in between there. So maybe actually closer. Actually, it was pretty close. So and you guys can just see it, um, and in the pictures and stuff. She took a really good picture of us. You can see it. It's way back there, and it's the only thing glowing in this pitch blackness. And I'm holding my GoPro up, and I have Nivision and stuff that wasn't recording. That we were just testing out and stuff. Um, and this was back in June, late June. Um, So yeah, you guys can see it, and um, she did a fantastic job because I walked right by it, and I wish it wasn't for her, I would have never probably noticed it and stuff actually, because for the most part, it was kind of a dull night. We're just walking around, nothing happened, just regular animals and lots of bugs actually, and uh, so I was kind of feeling like, ah, man, nothing's going on. But then it was like, oh, there it is. And interesting spot, interesting vantage point, um, right before the cars and stuff. And, so check that video out. It's right there. There you can watch the full encounter if you guys want to watch us go through the woods and kind of just have a nice little nightly stroll. And then if you guys want to get straight to the encounter, we have that shortened video for you guys. That's because I'm basically just about getting the evidence and putting the evidence out, and not really presenting a hour-long drama of nothing. If nothing happens, nothing happens, right? I feel, but if something happens, and if, you know, so yeah, so check that news video out if you guys haven't seen this of our encounter that we had. Um, and if you guys haven't checked out the previous expedition with her, we went out to did some graveyards stuff, and then went out to another place that she actually grabbed by something that was unseen, and she lets out a scream. It was very frightened by it, and I'm trying to film this orb light in this tree line across the field, and it was a very interesting experience. So you guys can see the audio of that. Also, she's seen something crawling and was taking video of something standing in the tree. So a lot of good evidence and stuff, potentially stuff. I mean, it's not like going to prove anything, but it's just more evidence of what we encounter and stuff. And because we are trying to show everything, you won't see blob squatches for us, and pixelated pictures that we post with red circles. We don't do any of that. We really focus on real video encounter evidence that is in real time, that you guys just can't we can't deny. It's just a full on encounter. That's it. There's no one picture of a track, and oh, there's just one track. And uh we have pictures of tracks, and it's multiple pictures, and if there's only one track, there's only one track, but we'll show you there's only one track. I see a lot of and we're kind of getting off topic. I'll show some videos here in a second of tracks. Some look really good, but it's only one picture. It's just take your camera and tilt it up, and let's see the whole track line. Let's see all the tracks. If there's one track, there should be two tracks. If there's more tracks, go follow the tracks, right? There's too many one picture tracks that show me basically nothing, because it's meaningless unless you actually pick that camera up, tilt it, and show me more. Where's it going? What does the landscape look like? It's not good enough. It's not good enough for a single picture. And I've encountered single tracks. We've got some pretty interesting tracks around a dirt roadway that looked like they placed them on purpose off the roadway. I found tracks in the snow and stuff, and they do jump, and they do all sorts of things, and they can jump pretty far. They don't just disappear. But if you guys get tracks out there, make sure you get the best looking tracks, get all the tracks, get the track line, get scenery, stand at the very beginning and film, take pictures of where you think the track line actually goes, so we can see like the path of where it could possibly be going. There's a lot of things that go into documenting evidence that you guys should be aware of when you're getting evidence. It's not just, oh, take a single picture of whatever's going on. No, you need like a dozen pictures, at different angles, at different lights even. If you take a picture of a track during the morning, it's going to look different than if you did at noon or at sunset. It's going to look completely different at the different shades of the shadow casted by the sun. Completely different. it's going to look at different details in those pictures. Sometimes it's going to come out better or worse. So you got to be aware of those sort of things. That's why documentation is everything. And I always I kick myself in the butt all the time because I always feel like I don't do enough. I always do need to do more. No matter how good or however response and stuff, I always feel like I don't do enough. And it's because it's true, you know. We're all amateurs and stuff at this, but it's what it's about, you know. Pictures and pictures and pictures. Get as many. Show. One track's not enough. Cast them, you know. Cast multiple tracks and stuff. That's another good thing. And learn basic animal tracks and stuff too. Don't be fooled by regular animals digging up squirrels looking for nuts, burying nuts, things like that. All right, so we got a pretty good number of people in the chat and watching. So we're going to jump into some videos, and then we'll show some interesting pictures of a topic that is called Bigfoot trophies. And this is basically Bigfoot hanging things in trees that we have shown before, but I got some more stuff to show you. But first, we're going to take a look at this video shot in Mexico that is supposedly showing a Bigfoot in a cave. And then I'm going to show you the original clip. It was shot on phone, so of course it's going to be not full screen for you guys. And then I will show you my enhanced version that should be more full screen for you guys to check out. So we'll do that right now. All right, so that's the original clip, as you guys can see, shot from a phone, zoomed in way farther away than would be expected. I'll show you the enhanced version right now. That's the enhanced version I did, cropped, zoomed in, and brightened up, touched up a little bit for you guys, and made it a little bit more full screen for you guys. Yeah, so what do you guys think? Pretty interesting, huh? I think it's pretty much two things, right? It could be a Sasquatch type entity out there, right? In the hills in this cave, or it's simply a Mexican worker, mine worker with his shirt off. A simple explanation: a hard worker who's just hot and tired, has his shirt off, and he's out there peeking around the cave entrance, the mine entrance. Right? Right? Looks pretty human. It could be human, right? It's a human, looks Sasquatch. Let's take a look again and let's look at the entrance. If this is a mine, let's look at the entrance of this place. There could be other possibilities, you know. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit to be a little skeptical, because we shouldn't always jump to, Sasquatch and stuff. Um, Usually there should be a couple things in the video that should point to one thing or another, and if it's not enough, we have to say could be this, could be that. So let's take a look at the enhanced video again, and then we'll discuss it a little bit more. And I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate. Even I'm looking at it even better. Um, so yeah, what do you guys think? Doesn't look like the typical entrance to a normal mind. It doesn't look like it had access there for anyone to really get up or for anything to come out and to be transported anywhere, right? So, uh, doesn't look like a mine entrance, but although it could be again a simple, uh, this is a shot in Mexico, a simple Mexican man with his shirt off. Maybe he's wearing blue jeans, right? The color of the of his underside is looks a little bit darker than the upper half, but again, he's in the shade of a cave. So there's a lot of factors that go into when determining these kind of things. So you can't just jump to one thing or another. This could be just a guy out there looking for gems, and he's just peeking out. These tourists or people happen to by chance take this video, or they knowingly know it's kind of a just a guy up there, and they kind of just shoot the video to just to hoax people. Um, Unfortunately, there's not enough going on and not enough information. From what I found, there's no those people didn't do a follow up. They didn't go back up there and stuff. I haven't really been able to track it down and stuff. So we're kind of left wondering. Yeah, kind of looks like pants, right? Kind of looks like blue jeans and stuff. Um, but again, how big is the creature or that person though too? Because they're pretty far back and they zoom in pretty good into the cave entrance with some pretty good clarity. I mean, that's it's pretty far away though too. So it'd be nice if again if someone could go back out there to the actual place and get measurements of how big that actual entrance is, stand in there, get some pictures and documented evidence to show how big the person could be, because that'd be a lot easier to show. So I came across that and I thought that was interesting, so I shared it in some groups and oh, here we have Central Florida Bigfoot. Good to see you. He says, too big to be a man. My opinion, it seems to be to fill the cave entrance. Play it again, please. I will. And good to see you in chat, and a lot of good work that he's been doing. So check him out. Check his channel out and check the new stuff out. So yeah, I will play it again for you guys. I mean, it's pretty far away, so it again, I just wish we had a follow up. People could be out there. We need more documentation. If there's more videos going, why do they stop the video? Um, uh, you know, a lot of what ifs, a lot of unanswered factors that but play a role in not only this, but other videos and other sightings and stuff that people like to share. So when it comes to investigating and looking at video evidence, you should always try to look at all the factors and not just try to jump into one thing. But I did think that was pretty interesting. But could be just a Mexican worker, mine worker, gem worker, just a cave explorer, just a dude up there. It's pretty far away though. I mean, that would be pretty could be pretty big, but it's just hard to tell unless you have another person out there that can do the controlled documentation of it. So, um, yeah, I mean, the people filming, sound, like they're honest, I would say, but again, we are going to come and face more hoaxers and stuff. I especially feel with the invention of AI technology that you will see fake pictures and eventually fake more and more incredible fake hoax videos that will look like nothing we've ever seen before. And there's some pretty good pictures that are you can still tell, but they're getting pretty good in fooling a lot of people that I've noticed. So we have to be on guard of that. Next 5 years, I think we should definitely see an influx of these kind of videos and graphics overlaid onto real time videos. Basically, augmented reality type of stuff where they're going to overlay things that it's going to be almost impossible to detect. It's actually over top stuff, or it's going to be able to match the actual natural look of things too, and not look like a computer animated image and stuff like that. So, um, so be on the lookout and stuff. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting video of either maybe a Mexican Sasquatch or a just a normal dude in denims out there who's really dusty and dirty for going in that cave or mine. All right, so we're gonna move on to some of these pictures, and some of these pictures. This first half is of trophies and stuff that are placed up in trees, and these are actually deer. And so I have to give credit for the sources that I found. These are from Val Zavala and his Gumshoe Guys Michigan Bigfoot Reports and Sightings on Facebook. We've had Val on a few times, been interviewed. Fantastic guy. He's a data miner. Um, just a wealth of information from the guy and runs a pretty good and tight ship at the group and stuff. So he has a lot of open pictures and stuff. Some stuff that, yeah, but some stuff is very interesting. And so he gets a lot of stuff. And so this is all coming from his group and directly from him. So, uh, and he has categorized this stuff as trophies. Anytime that Sasquatch is hang trophies as a calling sign to maybe let us know, let others know, like, hey, I've been here. This can be in various forms from hanging ornamental decorative stuff, placing rocks on stumps and in trees, dead deer kills in trees and stuff, or when it gets nefarious and stuff, dead dogs, dead uh, animals, um, destruction of property, and we have actually documented have a story that we've had on here of people being shredded and placed up in trees and stuff. So I'm going to show you some of these pictures right now, and let me know what you guys think. And so here we have a carcass of a dead deer that is just found in the tree. And so I don't have any of the background stories on any of these. These are pretty much story stuff that I was sent to Val. Maybe Val found if he would have the information if anyone sent to him. Sometimes some of the stuff has no information sent to him. Sometimes people want to remain anonymous. So this is supposedly found, some type of wolf or dog. And I have some pretty graphic, gory ones of a bear, but I'm not sure if YouTube will like it. But this is all educational purposes for because we are spreading the educational awareness of Sasquatches and trying to show documented evidence of potential Sasquatch stuff going on. So I'm going to play that again, and then we're going to play the other one that I have. And so these are called trophies and stuff. So look when you're out in the woods, look for things hanging, you know. And did a big cat do this? You know, can big cats do this sometimes? But there's a lot of things in Val's group that is showing that with a question mark. You know, can big cats do this? Because um, big cats are not in every state. Big cats are not able to do the things that I'm going to show you in this next clip. And they certainly don't hang heads onto uh, tree limbs. Uh, so I will show you this next clips after I read these quick comments. And so, actually look. Okay, so I would not. That's good to know. And so we need to mark that down, whatever which one. And again, some of these and some of the Bigfoot posts that have been posted are hoaxed videos, are known hoaxes and stuff, and that are getting regurgitated and stuff. So um, it's good because I had no idea, right? I just seen these and stuff and thought they were interesting. Matt knows that this one is particular one's a hoax. And again, any deer that's low enough to the ground that a group of people could lift up, I would be suspected of. And I should have pointed that out as at the one okay, the pulley system stuff too. I was going to say that too at this other image I'm going to show of people hoaxing and stuff. You know, putting stuff in trees with pulleys and ropes and actually doing the work and sticking a deer uh, on the tree. And what you would ask, you know, why would people do this? It's because, well, you know, sometimes hunters who hunt a lot and do have a lot of kills, you know, want to make fun of Bigfoot people or just want to do something, you know, stupid or funny or hoaxing. And, you know, it doesn't really mean anything to them. You know, it's just some funny little picture. Ha ha ha. So the Bigfoot community picks it up and then, oh my God, it's Bigfoot and stuff, right? So we always have to be careful, especially, you know, where it comes from and stuff. So these are just pictures that I find interesting and placing it out there because lo and behold, information becomes available when you share stuff. That's why I always like sharing stuff and getting opinions because the more we share, the more people can find out and know and spread their opinions and knowledge. And then we can revise and stuff and check it off as a hoax. Old evidence of as owls, just like we got the help of Curious Cryptids, sent our audio of owls and stuff they got up there over there. Sounds like a match of what we got here. And then it's weird. It's like a click in the brain. It's like, oh, I can definitely see how it's avian sounding and stuff. Um, cave video looks like a man in my enlargement would say a man now. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is possibly just simply the most simplest explanation is probably it's just a guy out there in denims looking for special rocks or keep doing some type of work, honestly. Um, so we're going to show these other video real quick, and then I got another one to show. All right, so these are more trophy stuff, and pretty much rocks get placed onto stumps or in trees, and this one particularly is pretty interesting. I wish that would have showed up better, but basically this was a pretty good size rock. I would say it's a little. Okay, I guess that showed up twice, so that means the other one didn't show up. But I'm gonna go back through the video. But that first rock that was placed onto, so this is supposedly a Sasquatch out there on this iceberg, and we'll talk about that here. So this first one, I wish I could pause this, but um, sometimes could be humans, could be the people and loggers who actually cut everything down. Sometimes they will actually take the machinery and lift these heavy rocks up and kind of place it on the stump as a little marker and stuff. They're actually they do that sometimes, so that could be a case of that. And then a couple years later, people stumble upon it. Um, so that's what that one could be. It's an interesting picture if it wasn't man-made, but again, what's the history of the land? What does the environment around it look like? How close is it to a road? Is there access for machinery to come in? Does it look like there's a history of machinery, deforestation, things like that, to point to that big rock being placed there by a big machine? So, and then we'll talk about the next rock, which is a little bit smaller, I would say, than that one that's placed on the stump, but definitely one that I feel myself as a pretty strong guy that I couldn't lift up in there, and I couldn't seeing even enough guys lifting it without some type of mechanical machinery or lifts to get a rock up into the above our heads up to like this and then place it up into that tree. If it's more than 200 pounds. Um, and then staying like that. So it's very interesting. And I'll show you that one that we're talking about. The second picture that could be man-made machinery right there. The second picture, unfortunately, it's not as close as I would like it to be for you guys to see it. But the if you look at it, the original picture, it's about it's a good sized rock. It's at least 200 pounds, I would say. And then there's the wolf or dog head that was found. And then this is supposedly a Sasquatch out there on this iceberg. Of course, only one picture showed up, or simply it is just debris. It is a chunk of wood uh, sticking up and frozen on and underneath the frozen iceberg, as we would say, sticking up, jetting out like that, which would be why there's only one picture of it, right? Or the no video and things like that. Because if you're actually out there taking pictures of a Sasquatch, you know, you can click, 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 click as many pictures as you want, right? On your phone, if you have actual real camera, things like that. So why is there one picture? I don't know. It doesn't, or why isn't there video? So you need more documentation to prove anything. One picture is not enough um, for anything, really. If all you can get is one picture, that's all you can do and all you can get. We have one picture of things, and evidence and things. So it happens, but um, it's weird how there's just one picture. There's one picture. So let's read the comments, and then I'm going to show you another trophy aspect. And the rocks and stuff is another thing. You find rocks, and there's some pictures on Valve's group that looks like rocks that have been picked up and are growing into the tree. The tree just grew and picked up the rocks. Some of the rocks pictures look like people could literally just put them into the tree, these little saplings, and then take the picture themselves. I don't find that valid or viable. if a person could do that, if it's next to a trail, if you're in the middle of the wilderness next to no one, miles off trail, you could, there's always a possibility that there's some like hippie nature guru out there who's like putting rocks in trees and like meditating and stuff, right? If it's at human level. But I mean, if they're like 8, 9 feet up and stuff like that, that's when it gets pretty odd, you know. If you're out there in the spot, other people can get out there. Other people probably have been out there, so that's why if when I see rock piles and rock stacks and things like that, I don't consider that evidence of anything because people are known to do that. It's literally a whole like subculture groups that you can like do and get into and read and do different designs. So when you find those next to trails and next to waterways and stuff where people go like that, or even in the middle of nowhere, I mean, if you're out there, someone else could get out there. People do that. So I don't find that viable. Yeah, sometimes, people just out there doing what they normally want to do, stack rocks, blah, blah, blah. So Bigfooter goes out there, oh my God, Bigfoot did it. And it's like, why? What gives you the reason? What makes you think that other than you got Bigfoot on the brain? We should be more focused on getting like encounters captured on video and audio in real time as they happen, because that is the golden nuggets to be able to prove them. It's not, it is, evidence and DNA and stuff like that, but you get a Sasquatch running through the woods and smashing trees and making you piss your pants and screaming at you on video. Um, you can have all the tracks you want. You can have all the pictures you want. Ain't nothing going to beat that, you know. So that's what we're after. That's what other people should be focusing on. Being brave, getting out there, getting close to them, trying to interact with them in a safe way to show that you're being safe and respectful. I would look into like great apes, trying to do it like that. We've had success doing it like that. Uh, we push at them. We go out there and we pretty much let them know, hey, we're out there looking for you guys. We make our own unique calls that seem to work here. We do things that we feel the moment might work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But we've been pretty successful in how close we've been getting. Um, and that's only because they let themselves get that close and let themselves be seen by us. There is no luck to this. We're not getting lucky in stumbling upon them. I think that can happen maybe during the daytime if they're distracted or sleeping, but at nighttime, I just know there's just no way. People can't see. You have lights on. You're stumbling over stuff because you can't see the ground, or you have your light on so they can see you. You're not going to stumble up on a Sasquatch at nighttime going through the woods. You just can't stealthily sneak through the woods as you can during the daytime, which one might be asleep or distracted with something else, and then you have your advantage of perception when you're in during the daytime. But at nighttime, we've had very close encounters at different spots, um, and they get pretty brazen and brave. So um, it's in those moments that we try to engage with activity and interaction, and it seems to be um, easier to apply honey to capture flies than vinegar. So we do a more proactive approach. We don't like to sit at camp. I feel like if you just go out into a wilderness area and you just sit at camp, um, to me personally, I feel like um, it's not enough. That why the whole thing. Well, we're just trying to be like normal campers. Okay, well, you're trying to be like millions of other people each and every year who go out in the woods and do the exact same thing. Like why don't you just to go out there and look for them and like interact with them and show them, hey, I'm here for you. You know, don't be an average camper doing the exact same thing that they do and see, you know, dozens and dozens of times a year. I mean, yeah, that could get them in a calm and they're like, oh, here's some more humans. They're just camping. Oh, this is just another free food and stuff. I mean, yeah, I get the understanding of like you want to catch them in the relaxed state and on guard, but has that ever worked yet, guys? Has that worked? I keep hearing this strategy over and over for decades now, and I keep hearing it from a bunch of groups. And does it ever work? I mean, yeah, you guys get interaction, but like, does it actually? Do you feel like that's actually a proactive approach is getting anywhere? Like, I feel like if you go out, if you're in this area and they're going to be at camp anyways, then they're going to be at camp anyways, right? So like, if you go out there and you try to look around and stir stuff and maybe try and find evidence and stuff, I think that's more interaction potential, and become it makes them curious when you're out there and you're looking for them, and they know that you're out there for them. It's not like, oh, they have to do a couple things to see if you notice them. Like, we're trying to let them know, hey, we're here for you. We're trying to notice anything and everything they do and acknowledge that if there's interaction going on. Like, we want full interaction, like engagement. We want full engagement with them and them knowing that we're looking for this engagement. We're not dumbass campers just ignoring them and just, oh, we're just oblivious. Like, totally different approach that we're trying to do. It's not, we're trying to do a proactive engagement. We're not just sitting at camp hoping that we're going to get lucky that something's going to happen. Like, we're trying to go out there, get activity. If that activity follows us at camp and happens around camp, that's more viable than sitting at camp and then, oh, just something showed up and we started hearing stuff. And we never left camp to investigate anything, but we were hearing stuff all night. Instead of, oh yeah, we were a couple miles in the woods over here and it like followed us back over here and we were hearing it all night. That's a little bit better observation, witness testimony, and engagement and experience that you will gain if you just do it that way. I kind of find it lazy, honestly. I kind of find it lazy to just sit at camp. Like, you go camp anywhere. That's like, it's camping. It's not a Bigfoot research expedition where you should be out there researching and gathering data. If you sit at camp, what are you supposed to do? You're not out there engaging the environment, going where they're at, trying to find tracks. What do you think they're going to find tracks in the middle of your campground right there? I mean, come on. So I get passionate about it because I see a lot of BS out there that's passed off as, this is how it's done and stuff. I get it, especially if you're not physical and you can't do anything, you can't get out there and you're getting old and stuff, I don't get down on you for that. But it's the people who, are preaching this sort of things and are trying to act like they're out there doing shit and they're not. And I get sick and tired of it because, you know, it's just, it's laughable. It's a kind of a joke. And really, how are these people even know what's going on when they don't even go in the woods to experience nature itself, to even know what is what? They're like not even going 100 yards into the woods, barely, off a trail, they don't go off trail. Anyways, I digress. I'm gonna get carried away talking about that, and that is not what the show is about. Um, so that's why you kind of see us always walking, doing something. Um, getting into places and stuff. All right, Jody, Judy, I will do that. Actually, I've been feeling pretty good and stuff. Got a nice workout in, doing the 100 push-ups every other day type of thing. Every other day, every 3 days. It's actually not too bad, just do 12 push-ups an hour, spread it out over 10 hours or so, 12 hours, not that bad once you get used to it. Um, because we're gonna go hardcore next year. I'm trying to, yeah, yeah, this ain't squirrel hunting, folks. Oh, that is straight ups for sure, honestly. So, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna show you this other picture of Bigfoot trophies in trees, and this is a very interesting picture. Um, Let me get closer. Here it is. This is another supposedly a bear in a tree, a trophy in a tree. Right, this is supposedly a bear that's hanging in a tree, and you can see that is how far up the tree it is. Um, any information on this would be gladly appreciated. Again, is this real? Is this a hoax? Does anyone have any information on this? Is it impaled up there? It doesn't look like, if it's like being hung up there around its neck, it doesn't have any. I'll replay it again, but uh, it doesn't appear to be being strangled and being held up by the neck in such a way. It doesn't appear to like it's have anything wrapped around it, held into place. It actually kind of looks like it's impaled. Maybe the bear fell and impaled itself. That probably can happen. I'm sure, right? If you want, you climb a tree and fall out of it and see what happens, right? Um, it can happen. So, is it that? Is it Sasquatch? Is it some other cryptid, dog man? I tend not to always say other cryptids and stuff, even though I think they're out there, because we don't find the evidence of those creatures as much. They're a lot more rare in terms of finding and documenting the actual evidence compared to Bigfoot. Um, so yeah, what do you guys think about that one? Huh? It was pretty interesting. It'd be awesome to find out if it was a hoax, if it was real. I don't have the backstory. I don't know if Val does. I know some people don't. There's a lot of interesting people from all works of life, all social statuses, rich, super rich, poor, and they don't want to be known. They don't want their names associated. You got judges, you got people in law enforcement, you got people in government, you got state officials. I mean, they're all works of life, that they don't want their name to be associated with Bigfoot for various reasons. So, um, but it's very interesting because those especially those judges and stuff and people like that witnessing, those are star witnesses, and a judge, judges, those are undeniable witnesses to pretty much have experiences because of their background and because of the pedestal that they're placed upon of observation and clear headedness and an understanding of reality and of things, right? And deciding, being able to contemplate and critically think about things and decide. Yeah, so it's very interesting. There's a lot of reports and stuff of people you would not expect who, probably if you ask them would deny it all day long, but in the privacy of closed doors, they are actually experiencing this stuff. It's not just us normies or crazy people and stuff. It's all over the place and stuff. So, um, yeah, it's yeah, very interesting. I don't think a professional bear would get stuck by itself. Keyword professional bear though, right? I mean, it can happen if some, Just because we don't have documented cases of things happening out in nature doesn't mean they actually happen. A lot of things happen out there that are probably amazing, crazy, just gnarly, gory stuff that has never been captured on film and very rarely, if ever, seen by people and stuff. So, including Sasquatches fighting and hunting and ripping apart and throwing and placing stuff in trees and stuff. Um, but we should discover more and more of that. And it's actually it's displaying and stuff and letting not only us as people recognize like, oh my God, there's these dead bodies placed up on these trees, or there's these weird things hanging on these trees. Maybe I'm not going to go over there. That doesn't look like a good place to go. Of course, and if your dog goes and chases these things and it might not come back. There's a pretty good chance, especially big dogs, that it might not come back, no matter how big and bad your dog might be. It probably won't come back, and you might find we have instances of your dog being thrown back onto your property, ripped in half, your dog being broken and beaten, and then thrown onto your roof, placed up in trees, half buried in your yard, or just you hear your dog being aggressive and then growling, and then you hear it whimpering and silence, and you never find your dog again. Um, there's Yeah, dogs that are aggressive and alert Sasquatches and go after Sasquatches don't tend to live. Dogs who are very scared and are silent and don't alert us to Sasquatches tend to stick around a lot longer because of that reason. I think there's a few cases of Sasquatches and dogs, being petted. Dogs that are friendly, like a dumb lab kind of a dog, just like, oh, hey, there's another big guy. He's really big and hairy. He must, kind of smells weird, but you know how labs can be. A golden retriever, golden lab, especially, like it kind of be kind of dumb sometimes. Let's face it, they're not the best guard dog. There's instances of them being petted and some interaction going on, things like that. So there is a documented case of a bear, I think it was in California or something, going into a backyard and giving the golden retriever a dead deer bone, and the dog would just stop barking at the bear, would eat the bone away, and the bear could go into the garbage and do whatever. That bear learned to give the dog this to then pass. So if a bear can learn to do that sort of things, Sasquatch can learn to do that. But they don't like dogs because I think it's historically dogs are wolves and people tools, and they alert us to them, and that they go after them, and so they very don't like dogs, human domesticated dogs. But there's reports of Sasquatches and wolves interacting and running together. One of our members has a sighting of a wolf running with the Sasquatch. Documenting cases of potential Sasquatches in coyotes interaction, um, some type of symbiotic relationship going on there that we just don't know about. So let me read some of these comments. Glad to see everyone's having fun. A lot of people, some new faces and stuff. I see some new names, I should say. Um, yeah, I have a Facebook group, the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. It's on Facebook, same name. You guys can find find us there. We'll add you there. It's a private group. You guys can find different stuff there. We're pretty open about what people share. If it's known hoax, obvious hoax and stuff, it might get taken down or shredded, depending on, or it might be left up. I mean, I don't know. I don't. There's only a number of things that will get outright deleted, and if it's just a blatant, obvious hoax and stuff, it won't last long. But we're pretty free about people posting their own um, stuff, other people's stuff, talk shows, documentaries, evidence and stuff. I'm always interested in evidence, real evidence, not hoaxed evidence, because I will look at this stuff and I will try to I really like looking at evidence and trying to figure out what's going on, if it's real, if it's bullshit, how good it is, and and then look at the person and stuff too. Who's that person? What are they actual researchers? Is this a one-off thing? Are they actually fully engaged in this stuff? Is there any previous stuff that they might have posted? Will they ever post again? Type of thing. Because I'm always on the lookout for hoaxers. I see a lot of hoaxers, a lot of stuff that's just so obvious. Like it's kind of ridiculous. I don't understand why people like are accepting it. Like like there's clearly a picture of that. It's just a Photoshop image. I'm pretty sure it's a Finding Bigfoot CGI still image that I found, and then they reversed it so that it's flipped over in the opposite direction, and then they maybe distorted it a little bit. Um, when they cut it out, they smooth the edges and stuff so it blends in, and I'm pretty sure they pasted it onto this picture, claiming that it just showed up. I'm pretty sure, and then everyone. I mean, it's not. This is not a good picture. Like this is clearly, fake. But yes, oh, it's half warping or interdimensional transshifting, and you know, it's just ridiculous. And the amount of people who are supporting it, maybe they don't believe it and stuff, but the support is very odd, because you can't support this type of behavior, because I'm pretty sure it might be delusional. Like this person might actually believe the story that they just made up about the Photoshop picture that they made, and are so delusional about it that they actually are going to believe it or make believe it because other people are going to believe it, and talk to them and feel good about themselves. And I find it very strange that um, people who have ragged on other people's evidence or research and stuff are not doing the same to because they're friends, or because the person is nice or to everyone and stuff like that. I mean, if it's a blatant hoax and obvious Photoshop, it should be called out as what it is, and not enable this make believe fairy tale of finding this photo, taking this photo of a normal photo, taking two photos of a normal photo, and then going back months later to the same photo on your hard drive, and then, oh my God, there's a Bigfoot in it that magically appeared after months of being stored onto your computer or your phone, and now it's magically there. It's half cloaked and stuff. I'm sorry, but that's just BS. And that if that's the story that people are going to feed in and believe, you're feeding into delusional madness, and that will spread misinformation and get that person hurt when they're actually into the woods and actually having encounter with a real animal like a freaking bear or a damn deer, because that person, I'm sure, will walk up and try to pet a freaking deer with antlers while it gets gored to death. There's just a lot of things that I see. It's so delusional. It's ridiculous. It's like, I mean, I can literally imagine the scenario in middle school of the same type of like stereotype of people make believing and trying to make other people, believe some bullshit that never happened, some made up um, stuff, you know. And it's pretty out there, man. I'm looking at all the people who are liking it and commenting, and it's like, wow, wow, guys. I'm like, this is not. It's weird. It's really weird. And I understand, we want, everyone to be friendly and to be nice and stuff. And people do have, mental issues, and if it just makes them happy, let them be type of stuff. But at the same time, that's not this situation. If you're trying to present yourself as a researcher and you're going to conferences and speaking and stuff, you should get expected to be kind of grilled or held to the flame when people are going to look at your shit, call you out on it, right? This is not some person who appears to have some disorder that you can tell like, hey, they're a little off, you know, you know, don't get on them too bad, if there's a difference, obviously there's a difference. People can recognize that. This is not one of those. And it's a shame because this community is going backwards. It's like, well, we're going to get laughed at for another 50 years because we have a lot of people supporting that who are legitimate researchers and are trying to do like real stuff, right? But then they're supporting stuff like that and actively supporting it and with comments and uh, even people saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe how good it looks." It really begs to question, how much experience do they really have and how good of is their research really going to be in the long run because of, I mean, if they're being fooled by this, they'll be fooled by anything out there. This is not, like, we're not squirrel hunting boys, we're not doing something that everyone does at average. This is something that people should be doing above average. We're looking for an above average creature out in the wilderness of North America that 350 million people live in, and the majority of them don't believe that Sasquatch is anywhere near their residence or in their state. Right now, a couple miles, there's Sasquatches. There's potential for Sasquatches to be roaming right now. Right now in Michigan, there's Sasquatches roaming around this countryside, all across the state, very close to cities, going in between people's houses in the countryside. Right now, they're out there walking around, roaming and stuff. In insane numbers, so close to cities, so close to towns, so close to people that when you interview all these people that live in all these places, they would laugh at you and they said, "There's just no way. There's impossible. I've lived here all my life. I hunt here all every year. Blah blah blah." It's ignorance and it's blindness that they just cannot accept it and stuff, and that's why Sasquatches have the advantage because no one believes that they're even there in the first place. No one's looking for them there. No one stands guard. There's nothing that stands in their way from literally doing whatever they want at nighttime. As long as they don't mess with people too much, they don't hurt people too much, they can pretty much do whatever they want and go anywhere. It's not that hard to stay out of the cities and stay away from the lights. You anyone drive out in the countryside during the dark? And you go on a long stretch of darkness and there's just a house light over there, quarter mile there's the next house and stuff. I mean, it's not too hard to get into in between all that and roam the countryside. So, um, sorry, I got distracted with the chat and stuff. So they are, and they're all over a lot of different states, very close. If you're out in the countryside, just a couple miles off from a town or a city, small town, and there's country and there's country blocks and there's farmland and there's, even if it looks like a densely populated farmland and there's a lot of people and stuff, if you could walk in between people's houses and get into the fields and hide in the woods and connect to other woods and other fields, and you're able to traverse the landscape fairly easy and get to a bigger chunk of some woods, um, you have potential of Sasquatches roaming in that area at some point. And Central Florida Bigfoot will talk about it. We'll even verify this of these choke points type of things, of these corridors, of these areas that, to get to these bigger expanses of wilderness, they have to go through there. And they have to sneak by population centers or neighborhood or suburban areas on one side and wilderness areas on the other side. So they will actually go and walk and go in these places. And if you're out there every single night and you live in these spots, I guarantee you for over the next, I would say during summer especially, but if you're out there for 2 months nonstop every single day for a couple hours, uh, or like every other day, if you did it every other day, you skipped one day, go out there for a couple hours, you should potentially be able to hear something or have actually something going on within the 2 months period. If they're coming around every 2 weeks, like they come here in Michigan every 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more every 3 weeks and stuff, they potentially should come around at least once during that summertime and be in that area for a couple days to where if you might be able to hear them make a call because they're going to be in the surrounding area for at least a couple days and then they'll move on. At the very least, you have the potential. Um, that's what I believe in certain spots. And it might not be every single spot, but here in Michigan, uh, every 2 weeks, it seems like they're pretty coming around. All right, I see a question in chat. Let me get to that. Where is it? Where is it? It went up too far. I appreciate you guys in chat for saying making those comments and stuff. And I mean, honestly, I'm not worried about getting noticed or more views and stuff like that. I mean, I hardly advertise. I really don't. If I say, hey, you guys want to donate, I don't. Hey, if you guys want to donate, go find a way to donate. Like, I don't make it easy. I don't really put the stuff to donate, to the links to actually donate to me in the chat or in videos and stuff anymore because I don't care about that. It's not about trying to be famous or making money or trying to be Bigfoot famous and cool and stuff like that. Like I get enjoyment by going out in the woods and doing what I do regardless of stuff happening or not. I get even more enjoyment when stuff happens and even more enjoyment when I can film it and present it to you guys and stuff. I think that, when time's right, the time's right and maybe you guys will see me at conferences speaking and have more and more evidence to show you guys. That's about it. I'm not looking to go on TV or anything like that. I've heard a lot of people have all these ambitions about doing this and this and this, and um, where their focus should be is getting evidence, going out there, doing their actual work, research, not all this stuff that honestly won't even happen if you don't do the work, right? So everyone's always focused on so much other things that just focused on one thing, doing the work, getting the research done and doing it the way that you do it. I mean, be professional and stuff. Like, come on. I mean, you should get in this, be a little bit serious about it and stuff, not half-ass and stuff. I guess I get kind of serious and get I can get worked up about is because I guess I've witnessed this community for a lot of years, and I've been in Bigfoot forums and on Bigfoot groups, way before Facebook, uh, decades ago, back when the internet first happened or came about. Like early 2000s and stuff with Bigfoot reports, and there's Bigfoot chats and threads, and um, it gets old. Uh, Seeing the same just bullcrap of decades and decades replay itself, and people um, doing the same thing. I can't find the question I was going to answer. Yeah, we have a Facebook group and a Facebook page, Lost Cryptids Conservatory. We also have uh, I've been neglecting and stuff, but I'm going to be for the next couple months doing a lot more stuff with it. But I don't, that's why we don't, I do the bare minimum when it comes to certain things because I don't want to be flashy. I'm not going to make a dozen documentaries of just me in the woods, Like you really only see a lot of stuff when stuff happens. We like to show evidence. The main showcase is the evidence, not the story. A lot of people like to, you know, tell the story, and the stories sell. I will admit that. If I every time I had something happen and I wrote up an amazing story and write up about it, I think I'd probably get noticed a lot more that way. But I'm not into writing stories. I'm into showing you what really happened with what really happened, not just because I tell a good story about it and stuff, that memorizes you guys a little bit more into like thinking something's a bit better when it's not just because of the story. All right, we have the caller kid himself. Got James.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say
Set
something.
up.
I've been sitting here for a little bit, but it's all right.
Really? It just popped up on my end.
Oh
I
really?
apologize.
I've been in here for like uh 4 minutes, but it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, the red notification lit up, so I jumped on, I
I've
guess.
been just listening, so it's fine.
Okay. I need to plug in my phone real quick. I was trying to find this question, but
Is it the one where
oh,
someone
here it is.
said, "Do you ever find any trackways in the snow?"
No,
Oh, okay.
but I'll give me a second. I gotta plug this in. All right. Yeah, it seems to be running a lot better off my phone than the computer last show for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
It could have been just the weather, I guess. And for you guys, maybe you guys didn't see me, James, and our other member, Bill. Let me switch it like this. Um, we're on Texas Front Porch over there at Texas, Michigan Rob and Jason's channel. And that was pretty fun. We talked about Bigfoot and got into deep down the rabbit hole pretty much. So adjust this a little bit. All right. So yeah, check out that. It's pretty cool. And now I gotta find that comment. I had to plug my phone in. I do have. Could share the video screen and try to see if we could share more videos on that. But that'll probably be next show if I don't have a guest.
Do you have a guest next week?
Or
you're planning?
I might have a guest next week. I did talk to someone, but they're having some health issues right now, so. So yes. Okay, here's the question. By Hockey Coffee.
That was the other one I thought I was going to say.
But... do you think that there are other sentient creatures that are similar to Bigfoot out there? Other cryptids? Yes. Other creatures that look like Sasquatch but are not Sasquatch? Yes. I think there's... Anytime you see a hairy, upright walking creature, you're going to automatically think Sasquatch, but there's different cultures that believe in different things. Sometimes the Wendigo is sometimes described as a hairy giant creature that devours people. It sometimes is described as a skeleton that's super skinny, or a ghoul that is super skinny and stuff, or a deer-headed type creature, or a very giant hairy creature with red glowing eyes. Sometimes they have horns, sometimes they have claws. Sometimes they have tails, white fur. So that there's a lot of descriptions right there. There's the Wendigo that is very odd and conflicting and stuff. There's other reports and natives who think that it's just a spiritual entity that can possess people and that transforms them into a psychotic killer, then who eats people, and then they transforms them into this beast, this hairy beast, this ghoul, this skeletanoid, this creature who basically has to eat so much but can't satisfy its hunger that it actually starves itself. Even though it's gorging on whatever it kills, it actually starves itself and turns into this skeleton. I've witnessed a wolf run into the road, cross the road on all fours, and then get up and run like a person into the field. Now, if you see this hairy wolf standing up, and you looked at its back and stuff, you might think, "Oh my God, it's Sasquatch," and stuff like that. So, yeah, there could be there could be other things out there. I mean, there could be a different species of Sasquatch in the same. I would say maybe different races of Sasquatch. Like there's different races of human, right? We're all human, but we just look a little different. I think they're more like that. There might be a different race of them. If there's a different species, then they would be very spread far apart, that you would actually have two different species that you would be able to classify as non-Bigfoot type Bigfoot entities or creatures. So Carrie Arnold told me all you have to do is video/take pictures around your property. Yeah, if you're out in the countryside, or if you have some chunks of woods, or you're just outside the city enough. If you guys actually want to send me a message, and maybe you have a location, or you want me to check out the map around your area, and I'd be happy to point out some spots that I would think that, I would look there. Or, if you think like, hey, did it actually come into my backyard? I'll check it out and say, hey, maybe. I think, yeah, maybe, yes, no. Because you would actually be surprised um, what from Michigan. This is my own experience in Michigan for doing this for decades, looking at what Val has been compiling, looking at my own map system that I've been doing, looking at the actual Bigfoot mapping project and what they got. Uh, and it clearly shows that they are moving everywhere in between all the cities, actually going into some of these cities, and they are hiding in spots you would never expect. There's sightings in spots that there are sightings in cities going onto an off ramp. They're literally inside of the circle in the ramp. They're like literally in that circle patch of woods hiding inside of a city on the outskirts of the city inside the city though. And there's a very small patch of woods that they would almost be certainly seen during the daytime, but they must only go out during the nighttime because they're in such a spot that would just, and no one goes there. No one would technically be able to go there because it's highway property, and no one would even think to look there. So it's very surprising, and I think they're urbanizing, and there's some spots that we've been to that it looks like they could potentially get into the sewer systems, actually. And in a sewer system is kind of like a cave system, might be a little bit better environment, and it's a new avenue for them to explore our urbanized areas where we do not go. I'm sure they would find that out very fast, and so there's a lot of potential factors that are unknown when it comes to that. Once they get into sewer systems, that's the big game changer right there. So,
there's a few other questions I can.
Yeah, I found trackways in the snow. There's some videos of that. We've shown. I'm not sure if I have them on here ready to go. I've shown them before on other live shows, presenting evidence. Not any. I found juvenile tracks in the snow. They jumped a 15-foot gap that I documented on video. Followed them. It looks like they jumped another 15-foot gap. Kind of lost them. They circled, and then I think he started climbing onto these trees. It was kind of this open, flat marsh area, but there was these two trees that it looks like he jumped onto the one, and I couldn't find his tracks after that. So I think he jumped onto the other one. There's down logs. He could have just went and done other places, and it didn't just disappear. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to stay out there all day to keep going in circles, into bigger circles, into bigger circles until I find the track. But I do have the pictures and them documented. They were on here, but they might be gone. I can only have, I think, 100 videos or pictures or something like that, or less than that. If you go to the Lost Cryptids Facebook page, the actual page, and you scroll to the pictures, yeah, they're not on here. They'll be down in there somewhere, along with all the tracks that we've come across and documented. Man, there's a lot of questions coming in now.
There's another one that says, "Do we know if they shed their fur?"
If we shed their fur, well, I don't know. But simply speaking, like other animals, In the summer, it gets pretty hot. They might shed a little bit. Um, but we don't know how actually their fur works with the environment and stuff because um, it could keep them insulated during the cold and wet weather, but it also could insulate them from the heat. Whereas the hot temperature is concentrated on the outside of the fur and hair, and the inside skin temperature is a little bit cooler. But I don't know if they actually shed, because they might have human type hair, and human hair doesn't really we don't really shed. That's something that we only determine through observation or a body.
And then the next question I saw was, have you heard Bigfoot mumble?
Yes, mumbling caveman talk. Yes. Yeah. Let's go into that counter. I got yelled at by this male, big male. I shot a gun off at this possum. I was coyote hunting. This possum came up, and I was kind of trigger happy, and I was like, oh, it was actually a new rifle that I got and a new sight and things like that. So I took the shot. I missed it. I'm sighted in at hundreds of yards away, and I shoot this possum at 10 yards away, and I barely go over him, but I'm like, oh man, my hunt's over with, whatever. What a wasted shot. I didn't even get the thing I wanted to shoot, and because they were getting into the trash and stuff, this was for a purpose, obviously. All of a sudden, I'm kind of walking back, and I hear the neighbor yelling at me, and I'm thinking, what the heck? Why is he yelling at me? What the frick? I'm out here doing nothing, and I hear it again, and I'm like, that something don't sound right. And again, it's something. It's like, why am I getting yelled at? It's midnight. It's very unusual. Even if I did shoot a gun off at night, it's in the country. When I heard it the third time, I heard this mumbling caveman talk and yell. And I instantly knew, oh my God, he's not speaking English. He's not speaking English. And I know that there's no one else out there who's, foreign and speaking like that. I heard him again. He yelled at me again, and my jaws just dropped because I instantly knew, but I couldn't fathom like in real time. Oh my God, it's one thing to go out there and to experience Sasquatch and hear a little bit things. It's totally different to get yelled at by one, and it sounds human. It was a man. I thought it was a neighbor. It was so human sounding. It. I actually thought it was a neighbor. Then he did the fourth time, and he was coming closer. And then I heard him and a female start bickering and jabbering at each other like a married couple. And I heard them bickering and jabbing, and she's going whoop, blah, 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 yip, and all sorts of fluty sing song talk, like I call it sing song talk language, because she was mumbling and doing some like sing song talk tones and very fast gibbering back at him as they're walking down this line parallel to me. They're walking into the woods, following the wood line 100 yards out until they are directly straight in line with me, probably 100 yards or less out, and then they stop. They just total silence for 15 minutes, and I hear them slinking up, creeping here, a little twig break here, a little rustling of the leaves here, and I feel the presence. I feel I can't take it no more. I go inside, and I slept with the guns by me because I didn't know exactly what the frick was going to go on at that point. Because you know it's in the country, but there's in between four houses right here. This thing's yelling. coming at me. And so it was a very big wake up call that you never know what can piss these things off. I'm out there shooting possums, engaged in uh, predator activity, predator hunting and nuisance hunting on private property because stuff's getting into the trash, stuff's killing cats, stuff's killing neighborhood animals, right? And there are packs of coyotes out there and stuff. But you do something that as average Americans we do, it's normal. Uh, Set this thing off and could potentially if I stayed out there, who knows what could have happened. If I would have pointed my gun in that direction and stuff, I'm sure something major would have happened and nothing good. So uh, I gained a lot of respect of that because and realized that they sound human. You know, it was a man. He was angry. I could feel the emotion. It was like the angry neighbor yelling at me to, you know, I'm being too loud. You know, what the hell am I doing? When they were fighting and bickering, it was like a married couple. It was like, you know, like John, don't go down there, John. Don't get in a fight, John. He's just, you know, he has a gun. You know, don't no, you're just gonna get in trouble. Don't teach him a lesson. That big guy was, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna teach him this. How dare he interrupt this? I've been standing out here all night, all long, and it's blah blah. I mean, it sounded like human frustration and emotion in a very verbal way, in a very non-English way, but in a way that as a human I can understand. Like, hey, like a married couple, and it was blew me away. So, long story short, long story long, that was that encounter. And I wish I had a cell phone in my pocket, and I had my rifle with me, and I never once thought just here, let me just turn this on and start recording. I was just frozen in disbelief that I just couldn't believe I was just getting yelled at by this thing. And so yeah, and that is a very interesting spot, and extremely think that they recognize me in that spot. They recognize me in other spots, and I try to do my best to respect them at all costs because, um, yeah, for several reasons and stuff. You know, I several reasons, let's just say. And if they know me, they might know other police people and stuff that I've been. And yeah, so I always respect them and stuff. That's why I don't try to piss them off. Don't do certain things. Just don't do certain things. All right. Any other questions and stuff? Um, yeah. If we ever get down to Brown Springs, we will definitely go out there with Tex and the gang. Anyways, James, what's new with you, man? What's going on with you?
You know, nothing much.
Working a lot and stuff, and just
Yeah. Me and Tyler went out in when was that?
early January or was it November
I think it was November. No,
or
wait, no,
December?
December. It was December.
December, man. Yeah, tell us about that. You guys went up, did some winter camping actually.
I mean, it was all right. It was like 20 degrees out. You know, it snowed a
Well,
lot.
people are thinking only 20 degrees out, James. It was only 20 degrees out.
That
That's
wasn't too
because
bad.
it wasn't too bad because we went
Here,
out
let's
at
see
negative
here. Oh,
five.
nope, it was actually 30, but it got down to 20.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Right? It's not too bad. Compared to negative five,
Yeah, we
it's
had a
not
nice
bad at
fire
all.
going. We made sure we were warm.
Yeah, beautiful spot and beautiful pictures you guys took. What about activity though?
We went out. I think it was here. Did I take any videos? No. We went out around midnight, I think, and it was still snowing like pretty good, maybe like an inch or two. And we went down like what are they called? Well, we're in the national woods, so we went down the roads that were inside the national woods, and there was like no cars at all out there. We went to turn around, and a cop comes out of nowhere, and we're like, "What the heck?" Because we just stopped like right there because we wanted him to pass. We wanted to be the only ones on the road because we're doing thermal stuff. And he like rolled down his window to make sure we were all good, and then he sped by us. He was in some type of like a Subaru, you know, like four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. On those roads, you kind of have to have some type of like off-road vehicle.
Yeah, especially if you go far.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much we're the only ones out there. But in the national woods where we were, there were actually some houses in there, surprisingly. But besides that, it was pretty dark. But
Yeah.
we did stop at a few like pull-offs and did a few knocks and howls, but it was just dead silence. Nothing at all. I'm guessing it was too cold and windy, but it was also maybe the spot we were in. Just they weren't there, you know.
I mean, that happens. You know, it's not like every time we go out, stuff happens. I mean, stuff does not happen every single time we go out.
It was
Plus, you were at some amazing spot.
I mean, it was pretty cool spot, but you know, they just aren't there.
That, or you know, you don't know the routine and patterns and
yeah,
where
we don't. Yeah,
it takes a while.
Apparently, there was a sighting close to where we were, but we didn't have any like. There wasn't really good internet connection to see exactly like how far away we were, but yeah. But that river we were on has actually had lots of sightings on, but you'd have to be at the perfect spot pretty much. It's luck at that point.
Yeah, especially, you know, it's just different spots have different chances, you know. The bigger the hay spot you're looking for, the harder it's going to be able to find that needle, the haystack. Trying to figure out.
Now I do have some good news.
The smaller the haystack, the easier.
I do have some good news. I don't know if you've heard, but Tyler, one of the other members, has recently picked up a hot tent, so it'll be warmer in winter.
Nice. Those are pretty sweet. So you got the tent. Yeah, probably needs the stove then, right?
Yeah, I think he's working on that too.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you don't got to sleep outside now.
Yeah, how big of a tent is it, man?
It was pretty big. I can send you the link after.
Dang! Oh man,
it's like a TP style one.
Oh, bro, we just upgraded. Yeah, that's actually pretty awesome because yeah, that's a big deal. Sweet. It's less blankets you fucking bring and shit. But actually, you can get out there and get really cold, and don't have to worry about freezing to death in your tent. You can actually just get warmed up next to the controlled fire. That, you know, it's not gonna go out because it's too damn cold and in the elements and stuff. But that's pretty sweet. So
I also just upgraded a few equipment items.
All right.
I picked up a GoPro Hero 8.
All right.
And a Tascam audio recorder.
Oh, all right. Hey, man, that's gonna be some good shit too. Because we need all the audio we can get, and another fucking GoPro is pretty sweet. GoPros are not too shabby, especially those Heroes.
Yeah, I got it used on Facebook, and with a bunch of accessories, so it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you can get a refurbished one or used one stuff in good condition, that's the way to go. 100%.
I also just picked up a brighter flashlight compared to the one I have currently. You don't think it could get much brighter, but it did.
I was looking at one. I might be dropping like $100 on a flashlight,
Oh yeah, I
but
just did. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, at least $100. But then again, it's like, man, I don't
Well,
know.
it wasn't just for bigfooting. It's more for diving, but
Ooh,
I do that.
diving.
So yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet. I've actually, it would be really awesome to get into diving, but it's kind of scary at the same time because of
Well,
how,
I do more free diving, so you don't need the scuba tank.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be, yeah, free dive is pretty intense though too. I would actually like to just, yeah, just open water dive with air, right, and then go into like underneath like Lake Michigan and stuff like that. There's some certain spots and artifacts that could be found and some awesome stuff. They found that little Michigan Stonehenge off the
Yeah,
coast
yeah.
and things like that. So I've always been interested, but you hear all these horror stories about things going wrong or just something so minor that just leads to a domino effect of death. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm good. Being in the water and just, it's such a crazy environment too. Being in that situation and have an emergency happen, it's pretty intense. I'd rather be just face to face with the Sasquatch, honestly. Actually,
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
I also got a battery bank, a bigger one. It's like a brick.
It's like a brick.
Yeah, I got a. I'm hoping it's good because I did a lot of research into them, and yeah, there's a lot of them out there, and a lot of them are trash, and a lot of them. I did a lot of research, and my mind's not great now after looking into that because they're all made in
Burned out.
China because lithium. So it's almost
Yeah.
impossible to find a good product.
That's yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's kind of a hit and miss when you're buying like Chinese product. Like, either it's gonna like completely suck, or it's
Yeah.
actually gonna be like, damn, this is actually pretty good. There's
Well,
like no in between.
yeah, it was $20, so it's not like a huge deal if it's not great. But
Mm.
yeah, I just needed an upgrade from what I have currently.
Yeah, I lost my one. I can't find it. I had a uh, nice 20,000
Yeah, that's about what I
capacity
got. Yeah.
battery, but it was God, it was a brick. It was heavy as shit compared to my other ones. But I have a bunch of smaller ones that I use. Of course, I have a bunch of um, what I'm using right now, battery banks. Love battery banks and uh, duct tape.
Duct tape.
That's what you need with your camera: batteries, duct tape, and that's it. Because I don't have my GoPro right here, but I'll have my GoPro. Pretend this is the GoPro. This is my waterproof case for my SD cards when I'm in the field, so they don't get wet. But I'll tape my GoPro like this, and I'll just run. I'll run the battery bank with the GoPro right on it, and everything wrapped up. So all I'm carrying is just this, and it's actually pretty stable and stuff with the GoPros. I love about them is they're so stable, compact, and it works great. Um, because it's hard carrying a bunch of shit through the woods. Flashlight, camera, battery bank, headlight, gun. everything else. Oh, you need something, new batteries changed, stuff like that, audio out. It kind of sucks sometimes. Sometimes I find myself having so much stuff to carry that I can't carry everything. Like I have night vision, thermal, I have a bunch of shit on me. It's like it's impractical. Yeah, I mean, so it's impractical. I can't use and carry everything. So that's awesome, man. I'm excited too because more equipment, more stuff, more chances of get some good stuff. Um, I actually think I have to test it out, but I'm pretty sure can hook up my an audio this microphone I got to my audio system, and then make a little weatherproof casing, not like what Tyler has, but something smaller and stuff. Hopefully, it'd be
Yeah, yeah.
like this size, and I'm gonna be able to place it inside a like a log or under debris and shit like that. So working on that, and got the new trail camera. If I'm
Yeah, I heard
kind of
you
debating
talking
on it.
about that.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't like them in being in winter because I had one that exploded. The batteries exploded and shit. So I don't like to put them in, leave them in winter. But it's been really nice lately. So, but I think I'm just gonna hold off and get that back out in spring. Set it up in a new spot and get some cool animals on there again. Maybe get lucky with Sasquatch. There was two of them that was interesting. There's the shadow of something going down. Either it's a squirrel or, because it looks furry and you see the shadow. It's behind the camera. And it's really fast. It just goes down like that. And it doesn't really look like a squirrel climbing down the tree like a shadow. But then there's one that's in the winter. Something shakes the camera. Like you see the camera shaking a little bit. But that's it. That's and this one that's glitched out and there's some like dots on it. Other than that, there's 3 months of animals and deer and two bobcat pictures video.
Yeah, I saw the bobcats. It was pretty cool.
I was shocked
Yeah,
that
we're by you too.
yeah, I was shocked. I was like, wow, that's very abnormal and stuff. So I love seeing it because they showed like a healthy ecosystem of bobcats, the coyotes, the deer, raccoons, squirrels. So 270 pictures for 3 months is not too bad. Not too bad at all, actually.
What for the talk about
For
for
the trail
trail cam?
camera.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I just wish if I set it up in a different spot. That's the problem with trail cams is like, man, there's so many good spots, but I actually want to use it at camp when we're on expeditions and use it as a trap to see if they're coming into close to camp, stuff like that. But um, potentially just drop it on the ground out there and then just see if like they come close to it or place it into a box, things like that, with actual food. But it's not good to trick them.
Well,
We
someone just
don't like
posted a picture,
them.
a question about trapping one.
Hockey coffee. Do you think it would be too dangerous if I set up a trap and captured one? What trap? What exactly are you going to try to do? Yeah. If let's say okay, say you try to trap one. If by chance they don't watch you build the trap out there or watch you put it in place out there, and you just happen that it just happened to just get trapped or snagged or bear clamped onto like a bear trap and stuff, whatever kind of mechanism or whatever's going to happen. If you surprise one in that way, 100% it's going to be a dangerous situation. It probably rip. and destroy anything in its path to get the fuck out of there, including you. If it watches you build all that stuff, you know, it's not going to be surprised. It might honestly investigate and set the trap off and laugh. Might probably won't do nothing, but
He said a big hole at the false floor.
okay, realistically, how are you going to go out there and do that and be unseen? You know, you're not going to be able to dig a big enough hole in one day for them not to notice.
That'd be a big hole. Some of them are 10
I mean,
feet.
I can dug a hole big enough for myself to get into in a day, but like that's a lot of work. That's a lot of digging, a lot of debris that has to be moved or hidden. You know. Well, yeah, they see us all the time. Yeah, but if you're like in their environment, in their home, and you walk up and you start digging a big hole to trap them, I mean, they're gonna pretty much notice. Like maybe if you're in an area like maybe okay, let's say you just went to this wooded area, and you set up this huge fence and like with, like massive blinds and stuff, and then you put up an additional wall of curtains to like block out the view, and you kept them off of that land for a while, and then you did it all, and then you stripped all that fencing away, and then you removed everything, and it looked like you weren't there, or you just disturbed everything up that it looks like it's all disturbed, then maybe you could get away with something like that. To then where they come back to the area to investigate, they don't know there's a hole there because you've blocked it off from sight and stuff like that. And yeah, maybe. But you know how much work, manpower, and time you would have to, and money to invest into that to do that. These creatures are no joke. I mean, if you piss one off, literally, it would be able to break into your house and do whatever it wants to. Your house is not strong enough to withstand an attack from Bigfoots, usually. Your front door is not strong enough. Your windows are certainly not strong enough. The bigger the windows, the more room it has to get in through the windows, to get in through that doorway. Honestly, it's just, you know, I don't understand why people think they're safe inside their house. Structurally, they're not safe. The only reason they're safe is because Bigfoots have no idea what's on the inside of the house and what everything does and what potential dangers in there. If they realize there's nothing in that house that's as dangerous as the people they're just as people are out in the outside, you know, they probably would be coming in a lot more. But it's the unknown. They don't understand what's everything inside this house, what it all does, and what potential dangers there could be. So too funny, man, too funny. I just think that it's under the understanding of certain things that they just don't do. But there are ones that will eat you, make you go missing. Let's not joke around about it. There are some, more often than not, that show aggressive tendencies. If if I walked up to your house and started staring into your window at your family eating and watching your kids and stuff, that'd be pretty aggressive and stuff. You would want me removed and dealt with and stuff, right? But when a Sasquatch does it, it's not the same perception, right? It's not the same. It's not aggressive. It's just curious, right? Would that excuse work for a normal person, right? No. Calling out and trying to lure kids away, stalking people, aggressively following people, throwing rocks at people, throwing stuff at houses, slapping houses, peeing on people, ripping up, destroying property. The list goes on. More often than not, there is actually more aggressive tendencies and encounters and situations than there's not. Whether or not you accept it as aggressiveness or not, if something throws a rack at you, that's kind of a warning of, hey, I could potentially throw this and hit you in the head. So, we've had stuff thrown at us, James, and I would say it wasn't aggressive, but at the same time, it's very good understanding that could hit us. So we're about 2 hours now. I never did open the link to the chat. Is there anyone who wants to come on in the chat? If not, I might be shutting the show down here at 2 hours and stuff.
You gotta go somewhere, or are you just tired?
I'm hungry. I'm starving, actually.
I just ate.
I didn't eat enough before jumping on, but yeah, pig out a little bit. Doing that last 20 reps of push-ups really just made me hungry. So if there's actually someone who wants to come on, like Judy or someone else, we'll jump on for a little bit longer. If not, that's okay. Don't feel the need to come on. We just started it off for that. I should have did that earlier in the show when James probably jumped on, but I forgot.
Something through a tree nut. A tree nut. Interesting.
Oh, the squirrel. Yeah, squirrels, can drop stuff at you and kind of throw it at you, but like it's not going to follow you around and continue to do that. Especially in areas where there's no nut trees to be able to do that. And plus, the squirrel has to actually get up above you, high enough above you to be able to chuck it at you. It's not like it's a football player that can throw touchdowns at, yardage. So I always laugh at that kind of fallacy of that there's squirrels up at trees that are throwing nuts at you type of thing, because it just tells me that you're not out there experiencing that stuff. Because anyone who really experienced that stuff is not thinking it's a fucking squirrel at the damn tree following me. I've been in situations. James, we had a squirrel throw a nut at us. Like, come on, man. Like, it's so preposterous. It's laughable. It's like when people, when you seen that that one Sasquatch with over in Chad's spot. You guys seen that blur?
I don't know if it was, but
you guys seen something there standing there, right?
Something. Well, no, I didn't even see it standing there. I just saw like a black thing go behind a tree.
Right. Well,
but then we did a size comparison. And it was like 6 feet tall. So
yeah, it was pretty big, right? Well, telling people that, trying to show the videos and evidence, and well, it was a black bear. I have people telling me that, oh, it was a black bear that 3 of us were standing next to right there. It didn't make aggressive noises, didn't do anything, and we didn't find no tracks up the black bear either. Just a knuckle print of the Sasquatch, not no bear. It's those fallacies that it's really laughable. I kind of laugh at it because it's like it's just a lame.
Well, we could have ran over the tracks with the car, but
no. This was the one in Chad's
okay,
area.
Sorry.
When people think that what you and him seen was a bear, like a black bear, I laugh at that kind of thing. Yeah, I laugh at that because it's like
in that area, I doubt it.
Yeah, it's just like you're not here, you're not experiencing stuff, and it just really shows that you don't have experience with these creatures if you're laughing and telling everything it's a bear or everything's this and that and blah blah blah. I'll look at stuff and I'll be able to tell, yeah, this is fake or this is that. There's this one video of these people they're saying that it's this eye shine out there. It's really this really I didn't really know who they were, but they're pretty got a lot of viewers and stuff. And there's this video of there's undeniable eye shine, and I'm doing some work on it, but I'm pretty sure it's just the dude out there with a laser pointer.
Mm.
It's not a laser pointer. It's the light off the camera that he's literally using to film because he's filming it and then he like moves and the ball of light is like he says it's behind this tree, but the ball of light is in front of the and it's in front of some of these tree leaves or I think it's a pine tree, so it'd be needles. So it's not eye shine. I don't know. I don't get why people just don't see that shit and then recognize what it is instantly instead of eye shine. Just shows that the inexperience or they're not really out there experiencing real stuff and they just want stuff to happen. Like people want it to happen so much and so bad, like they just start imagining shit that's not real.
Or hoaxing.
Or subconsciously believing this hoaxing. They're hoaxing themselves in real time and believing it to be a real thing without knowing that they're hoaxing themselves. Like I see a lot of that going on where they're just delusional. It's just delusion. They fully believe what's going on is real and it's just a delusion. And none of them, really are not good. Like it's a shame.
Yeah.
Um, so you'll be seeing more stuff. Hopefully, I'll have a guest at the end of this month. Next month, we should have a more guests, at least one guest every month. I'll try to do it, and then hopefully more stuff. I got stuff from the 160, but I'm kind of waiting for certain other people to release evidence and stuff too. That
Talking about Mark.
yeah, Mark, he has some stuff. He has some stuff that I'd like to use and stuff because I filmed it, so um, I'm kind of waiting on that. Um, there's a lot of stuff going on and drama when it comes to that, and so we'll probably have to be waiting on that for a little bit. Like always, but patience is the key to success, and one thing we have is patience here. That's one thing I am teaching my kids. It's very hard for them to understand, like all kids, but something that is valuable. Honestly, I without patience, I would not be able to be here doing what I am with you guys at all. There's been times, James, we're getting ate up by mosquitoes galore. There's been times I've been by myself. It's like this sucks, man. I like this sucks. I I kind of want to do this, man. I'm getting my face been all ate up. I'm getting
Oh yeah, that was awful.
West Nile viruses out here and stuff, and it's just like, dude, this absolutely sucks. But then it's like, you know what? I gotta suck it up and do it. Can't quit. Is there any last things you want to say before we pretty much jump on off?
Do you know if we were ever invited back to Texas show? He said he wanted us
Texas show?
back.
Oh, yeah, man. If you wanted to jump on there and stuff, you can contact him or I can
Well, no, he just said he wanted us
let one of them
back.
know.
Remember?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Whenever they whenever they ask, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I can get in touch with Rob and have you get on the show because I know they've mentioned that get you guys individually on the show because you guys have, your own stuff to talk about. Fill up in a easy hour or two. So, yeah, actually, and Rob has a show too. We actually got invited on. His show's at like 1 o'clock on a
Yeah, I can't do that.
Tuesday. I couldn't do it either. But yeah, if there's any other people who wanted to invite us on and stuff
Oh, look,
like
he's
that.
here.
Texas Jack is not Tex.
Oh, it's not? Okay, it looked like it was. It has the same symbol, right? Or am I...
Nope, not the same symbol. Nope, nope. Tex
Oh,
would
it's
be
similar. I see.
yeah, I think it would just be Tex, and he has himself as a picture with a cowboy hat on. Um, oh, I guess I could talk about the new Bigfoot encounter, which I forgot to talk about real quick. Um, I was talking to this lady and just brought up, Bigfoot randomly, out in the spot. I've taken a lot of shots like this on a lot of people, and man, I've got some bad looks recently, and it's like,
Wait, what happened?
okay. I've been asking people if they've, if they believe in Bigfoot, if they've had any Bigfoot encounters, and
Oh,
I've
like
had
out in
some.
public?
Yeah, out in the public, or when I was out in the woods and stuff, I met with this guy. He laughed and he just shook his head, and he was a total non-believer. But this woman, she's like, yeah, actually, now you mention it, and she begins to remember and talk about like in like 1978 here in Michigan. Um, they were out playing hide and seek around their house in the country on this country farm, big country farm actually, a lot of land around and a lot of woods, and they would play hide and seek and stuff, and they would be running around the backyards and in the front yards. And she said all the kids were running around, and they said a group of them ran to the backyard, and she said that she seen this hairy thing sitting. It jumped and sat on top of this red tractor, and it was sitting there crouched, staring at them and stuff. And she said it was a very humanoid thing, and um, they all got scared and ran away. But she said that there was other stories of. They were all little kids and stuff, but she said that it was this hairy guy perched up on the tractor watching them, and she said that there was other weird things that it's kind of like now that you mention it, yeah, there was a lot of weird things like this and that, and very spectacular location of where it actually happened. And it's awesome and stuff to have that out of the blue. And I totally believe this person because there's no reason why this person would just straight up lie to me. This person didn't seem like she's the lying type at all. Very professional, actually. Very professional in her profession, I should say. And it actually, you could see the memories flood back and her eyes get wide open as I'm talking about Bigfoot stuff. And she is recognizing, oh my God, that's probably what it is. All these years, I just kept, saying this, like, this hairy guy, um, pretty amazing. Watching kids and actually interacting. And that was probably a juvenile, smaller one. She was a smaller kid, but it was, from what I could gather and stuff, it wasn't a big giant one. It was probably a juvenile that watched the kids playing and wanted to like join in and stuff, watching all the kids laugh and have fun and playing hide and seek. And Sasquatches play hide and seek all the time, right? So very interesting. All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to end this live stream, guys. I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the good, lovely, supportive comments in the chat. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot. It means a lot, and that's why we keep doing this. Like I said earlier, it's not for financial gains. It's not to be famous. I'm a brokey. I'm not, getting money from this. We're not getting famous from this. Um, this is a lot more of a hassle and strain on all of us, it seems like, than it is by gaining anything, gaining experiences and fun and adventure and stuff. But we don't seek to be famous and get money. And hell, even when I ask you to donate stuff, hey, I don't even put links in the chat or anything to like donate. So it's not like I even make it easy and throw it in your face to, oh, here, donate here, donate here. It's like, if you find a way and find the old links and stuff, then, good for you. I'll make you work for it. But we don't ask for handouts. If you want to come hang out and donate, you can. Um, I seen that comment, got me so distracted. Uh, um, yeah, Texas Jack. Yeah, I think that I have noticed that too. That there's certain things that are not there no more, and that seems to be because of the drama that's going on. That it's not really our
Talk about
concern or
Bigfoot
our
Odyssey.
business. Yeah, yeah. I didn't want to bring it up stuff, but yeah.
Are they taking videos down?
I guess. I mean, I thought I kind of noticed that there. I was looking for this one video that I couldn't really find, but not a big deal. They can do whatever they want. Actually, I started to watch the very beginning, but I don't think Bigfoot Odyssey is going to be doing shows anymore because the last video.
No, they. I think she said that they don't want to do them anymore because they just want to leave it as like a memorial channel.
Yeah, so I haven't watched that yet, but that's what it looks like it's going to be. So,
Which kind of sucks, but I understand.
uh, no, I mean it's good. It's good to keep it how it is because I mean, to be honest, it's not ever gonna could be the same. It doesn't have the same magic. Like it's like, the one element that made it all magical and work is the one element that's missing. It's the one element that cannot be replaced. So it's unfortunate, but it's unfortunate of the drama and backlash that's happening and stuff too. But it's just that's life. Um, yeah. So, but we were on Bigfoot Odyssey a few times. You guys can watch us on some of the episodes we did. Always was a good time to speak with Carrie and go on there, and very great atmosphere, easy to talk with, good friendly chat. So, and then 168 was great too. Really good stuff. Great experience. Um, Good experience with people, bad experience with people, fake people. The real deal people were there though, but we can get into another hour of just ranting and raving about different stuff. Not just the 168 and everything, but we can just get down and keep going and going. So I'm gonna cut myself off right here and get some food. And appreciate everyone for joining. I appreciate you, James, for showing up.
Yep.
Yeah,
I got a
Carrie,
little distracted, or I would have been here earlier.
no, it's okay. Yeah, Carrie was very good people, and it was sad. It was very sad and stuff. It was very shocking and stuff because I was literally just messaged him, and I was expecting to be like talking with him pretty soon, and it was a very weird feeling, and I very much feel like we've been set back. I know that without Carrie, there's so much research that is not going to be done. There's expeditions that won't be happening. There's bringing up community and researchers that will never happen because of him, unfortunately. Uh, yeah, that sucks. So if you're a researcher and you want to come to Michigan for that kind of style of expedition, let us know. We can actually work something out. I want real researchers here to do that. Not, I mean, if you're not a researcher, you're welcome. But like, I personally want to drag a bunch of people out miles and miles into the woods and then have them fucking beat to death, tired by the time we get back to camp. Hopefully, bringing stuff, having activity and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, I am getting off. Appreciate everyone. I just keep seeing more comments, and yeah, thinking about Carrie and the 168 and stuff, and the story he told me. He told me a nice, just a great time. It's a great time meeting with him, and the one thing about Carrie was he was actually a stand-up guy, actually a good guy, and honest. Would actually treat you individually, and um, it didn't matter if there was other people in his ear trying to talk shit about you. He based his own relationship on what you did and how you interact with him, and that was phenomenal. That he would be able to wade through all that BS with a lot of people, a lot of different people, and would nag Carrie about a lot of fucking drama all the fucking time. And he was able to just wade through all that BS with finesse. So not many people can do that without pissing everyone off. All right, guys. So I'm gonna play the outro, and we are gonna get out of here. Thanks again for everyone for tuning in and watching. We'll be back next week. And if you guys haven't check out our latest Bigfoot encounter that we've just posted, the full encounter. You guys can watch. Let us know what you guys think about it. Thank you, everyone. See you guys next time.